to my video about my 128i. It's a kind of a bittersweet video for me. I'm selling the car, then that's kind of the main reason for this video. I'm sort of making it for myself, but I'm also making it for whoever is interested in the car. I'm planning to list it on Cars and Bids. Hopefully they say yes. I'm pretty sure they will. I just really appreciate this. Get one of these and you sort it out, and I think the bang for the buck is pretty hard to beat. So I ended up with this. We got it back up to a 135 that I had. That was an absolute riot. It was a real hooligan. It was a 2011. It had a N55, twin scroll turbo, not the N54, which is kind of a different animal. I specifically searched for the 55 because I figured it'd be more reliable. And while it was more reliable, still a turbo with a lot of things to deal with. I sold that on Cars and Bids, actually. I listed that on Cars and Bids, and that was in August of 2020. And then I turned that into a 2007 997, which was an amazing machine. And I find myself looking for those every once in a while. Just an impractical thing for me right now, as is the convertible, which is why it's going to go away. I've had 3 convertibles in my life. I had a Miata, I had the 135i, and I've had this one. And I just love top-down motoring, especially when the audio experience is dialed in. And on this, that is certainly the case with the Super Sprint exhaust system I have on it that is missing the secondary cats. It does not have a center resonator. I put a cone intake box on it. These are made out of ABS plastic. And the top panel on those tends to be pretty noisy. It resonates, kind of drones at like 2,500, 2,000 RPMs or so. Kind of where you drive, spend most of the time with the engine in the RPM range that low. And so I was not going to put up with that. I have a product that I make for my company. It's called a Nordy mute, and it uses this open cell foam. So I figured I would just glue some of that to the inside of the cover. And man, it just solves that issue of that woofing, horrible, droney, boomy thing that comes from the front of the car. So now the front and the back are really well balanced. I call it, it's got good stereo separation, front and back imaging. And it's just, with the top down, with the windows down, it's just a riot to drive. So engaging sonically. The turbos on the 135, it's got that sort of airy, muffly sound to it, and this doesn't have that. It just has this wonderful sort of howl, throaty howl. Hopefully you pick it up in this video. We didn't spend a lot of time mounting microphones on the bumper or anything like that. But the cameraman did have a really nice stereo mic on there. Hopefully you can kind of pick it up. So I had the 135, I had the 997, I turned the 997 into the 128 that this video is about. When I had the 135 for a while, I found an E91, a 2010 sport package. It was an automatic, blue water metallic. I absolutely love the color. Oyster interior on it, no stupid screen in the middle. Just a really wonderful analog. So I got that from CarMax, and it was an automatic, but as soon as I could afford it and found a transmission, I converted it to a manual. That really turned the light on for me in terms of naturally aspirated. I was sort of decided I was done with turbos, got rid of that for the 997 flat 6 manual transmission. Oh, that thing was, wow, it was amazing. Enjoyed the hell out of this E91, this just peach of a road trips in it. Did a lot of work on it, fixing things up over the years. Had a full suspension refresh about a year ago. That's not cheap with factory parts. I don't see many people talking about factory suspension refresh on a sport package. This is just worth every penny that I put into it. So the manual and the naturally aspirated experience that was giving me was the same drivetrain. I didn't care for the aesthetic of the coupe. I kind of agree with Doug in that video he did about the IS recently, and that's why I got the convertible. That and the sonic nature of the whole experience, the open top motoring thing, just the more vibrant driving experience that you get from an open top, a ragtop. This white one popped up at Monrovia BMW, and I had some equity in the 911. Managed to make a trade deal. Got the 128 in. It needed some love. It had a stock exhaust on it. I put a MagnaFlow on there first. Did not like that. It was not actually. They don't list the convert the E88 in the product listing for that. And I didn't realize that when I bought it. I was a little overexcited. And so it kind of banged and clanged around underneath there because there's not much room in the bracing under that for the exhaust pipe to fit through. Got rid of that thing and got a Super Sprint. Okay, just to walk through a couple of the specifications on it real quick. It was made in September 2010. It has an M Sport package. Style 207 wheels will come with the. I have the secondary cats and the original exhaust system. I have the airbox. All of that stuff is included. If you want it, if you don't want it, I'll get rid of it. It's got nav. It's got comfort access. It's got factory Bluetooth, which is kind of rare on these. It's got adaptive xenon headlights. There are no leaks on the anywhere. It has a new clutch, a new secondary cylinder. So it's got fresh tires. It's got these amazing racing dynamics wheels that I found. Pulled them off of an E36 that I had briefly that I got and sold for like $500. They were 3 deep and 1 shallow. I'm sorry, 3 shallow and 1 deep because there's 2 different specs on these. And so eventually I managed to find a second pair of the deep ones. So now I have 1 spare of each setback. So 1 spare front and 1 spare rear. Those come with the these wheels have a much more aggressive offset than the stock ones. They're wider. They're still 17-inch wheels. I spent a bunch of time with tire size calculators figuring out what size to put on. I ended up with the sizes. We're going to put those on the screen because I can't find it anywhere right now, and that's in my house. So the sizes are pretty well dialed in for comfort and like B-road type driving. I've been in some accidents. When you go over a heavy bump, the rear left tire brushes the rim of the fender a little bit. There's been some work done on that lip, and so it just barely kisses it. I don't even see any marks on the tire from when it happens, but I can hear it. There's some damage on the front bumper, bottom, leading edge of the bumper. Driver's side bottom has been smashed and kind of shoddily repaired. There's some paint missing off the right side of the same piece of body work. It's not perfect. It's definitely, there's some overspray here and there from when. It's more of a driver's car. The top is not in great shape. It doesn't have any holes in it. It's just got kind of what I'd consider extra wear, especially compared to the 135 I had. That thing had a real clean top on it. That said, the top works perfectly well. It functions exactly as it should, opens and closes with no problems, seals up tight, no water leaks. So it's pretty dialed in. Get in and drive. Put the top down and find a windy road through the mountains, and I mean, you're gonna have a great time. I'm gonna miss it. Someone else should enjoy it. What I'm really hoping is James from Throttle House finds this. We'll see. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope whoever ends up enjoys it. I think this platform is fantastic, especially for the money. I guess I have a thing for German. There's a Volkswagen bus. I have content about that and how it came to be. Shot some footage when I picked it up in Idaho over a year ago now. That's another story. This is my main love, my main automotive love story. I've had this. I put more miles on it than any other that I've owned. It has the same drivetrain. N52 manual transmission, rear-wheel drive. It's also an M Sport package. Both of these have what I'd call a patina, like a well-loved and played instrument. I replaced this part here. I've done a lot of mechanical work to it. It's got a new clutch in it. We did a Guibo recently because it basically fell apart on me. It was just trashing around in the middle. And it's got a custom exhaust, Super Sprint exhaust system on it. I like to drive across the south side of town, stop and get a coffee. I'll show you how I kind of get my enjoyment out of these on my way to and from work, which is kind of really all I drive on the daily. Yeah, let's go. my buddy Nick, one of the owners of this club.
What's up, man? How are you?
These guys are the best. That is. Other than salvation.